All right, folks, it's Pat Johnston here from the Problem Sports, and we're down at BC Place with Marc Weaver. Marc, it's a pre-game show. We're trying this out for the first time. Good to have you here.
Thanks, Patrick. Good to be here.
Marc, we look back last week, 2-0 loss in LA. Second week in a row, the Whitecaps went to LA and didn't have a goal. I'm going to ask you straight up, at home this weekend against Portland, will we see a goal from the Vancouver Whitecaps?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, Portland's one of the worst defensive teams in the league. 42 goals conceded this year. Only Montreal and Houston have conceded more, and that's in a very bad Eastern Conference. So, I mean, this Portland Timbers team won the West last year. They're a good team on paper. They have a good midfield. They have some good attacking pieces up front, but defending has not been their strength this year. And a little more, some more questions at the back this year. This week, Paparazzo suspended after an elbow to the head of Chad Marshall in the Seattle game. So they're going to have to rejig their center backs, and that should spell success for Vancouver.
It's been a question all season in terms of who's going to play up front, who's going to score the goals. We've seen some Maddox lately. Haven't seen so much in the last couple of games, but he has put some goals in. We saw Eric Hurtado early in the year. But in the end, it comes down to Pedro Morales. Are we going to see more from him going forward?
Yeah, I think Pedro's been excellent at home. He's struggled on the road. You can say that for a couple of their players. Sebastian Fernandez is the other one that comes to mind. So, two guys who've had some good success at BC Place. Yeah, Pedro's going to create on Saturday. There's no question in my mind the Caps are going to get 5, 6, 7 fantastic chances. You add Mauro Rosales to the mix, their new trade pickup, the former Sounder, former Chivas USA winger. So he's going to help as well. You got two playmakers out there. That's going to be, Darren Maddox and/or Kekuta Mane. Someone's going to be licking their chops in the attacking positions. They're going to get great service, I think, in this game. It's just a question of finishing. We've seen it time and time again this year between Maddox, Kekuta Mane, Eric Hurtado. They've got to find their scoring boots pretty soon here. 10 games to go, and I think that's going to be the biggest question. Whether the Caps make the playoffs or not is going to be down to the young guys, and can they finish. You
mentioned Rosales. I mean, he's the new guy in. You've written about this week. He's already taken the likes of Kekuta Mane under his wing, it sounds like. What influence do you think? Is he going to have him make a difference right off the bat?
Yeah, I think he will. I think we saw that in the second half of the Galaxy game. The Caps are a better team. Granted, LA's already up 2-0, so you can't read a ton into that 45 minutes. But I think right away you saw the energy he brings, the tenacity he brings, the experience. He's calm on the ball. He's smart. His decision making on the ball is excellent compared, obviously, to a first or second year player. So he's going to bring a lot there, as well as he's a fantastic passer, one of the best crossers in the league, if not the best. He's going to help them on set pieces. So no doubt he's going to help right away. And I think probably the biggest reason is you're adding a guy who's got a ton of experience into the lineup, has played for Argentina, has won an Olympic gold, and he's going to replace a young guy. It's going to mean Fernandez or Hurtado or maybe Mane is going to be on the bench. So you're adding a ton of experience to the lineup, and you're also taking out one of the young guys, which I think will help overall the balance of this team.
And we're going to be seeing a giant in the lineup for the first time. Johnny Lavrone has been suspended because of the red card last week. What are we going to see from the big guy?
Well, I'm interested to see. I mean, Kendall Waston's obviously going to bring a physical presence, an aerial presence. 6'5", and he's every bit the 6'5" he's listed at. He's a monster. His Spanish nickname is the Tower, which I like. Maybe he's going to help him on score a set-piece goal, which is something they've struggled with ever since they entered the league in 2011. But defensively, I think the big question is how is he going to look in a league that's very fast? It's got a lot of quick little players, shifty attackers. Is his foot speed going to be up to the test? So, and the chemistry with Andy O'Brien, they've had this week in training, 2-3 days in training to get used to each other, but that's not a ton of time. So, will they be on the same page communication-wise? And is he going to have the foot speed and the agility to keep up with some of these MLS attackers?
All right, Marc, thanks a lot, folks. Of course, we'll have more online at problemsports.com. We'll have the podcast, and we'll see you again soon.